In 2015, when I was 39 years old, I made a selfish decision that ultimately shattered my family. My husband and I had been together for 20 years. High school sweethearts, each other's first and only loves. Together we built a life, raising 4 children. 2 strong boys, 18 and 16, and twin girls who were 13 at the time. On the outside, we appeared to be the perfect family, but beneath the surface, things were starting to unravel. I had a loving husband who stood by me through thick and thin, a man who wasn't just my partner but also a pillar of strength for our entire family. He called me beautiful every day, treated me as his equal, and supported my brother through difficult times. He was the person everyone turned to when they needed help, a truly good man. Over the years, I had gained weight and struggled with self-consciousness, but my husband never stopped showing me affection. He always told me I was beautiful, even when I didn't feel it myself. We rarely argued, and when we did, it was usually about intimacy. He wanted more closeness than I was willing to give. I thought it might be early menopause, as I often felt detached and uninterested. Despite our attempts to reconnect, through dinners, dancing, and walks, I remained distant. For my 39th birthday, I decided to make a change. I dedicated myself to the gym, doing yoga and Pilates, and I transformed my body, from 180 to 135 pounds. My husband joined me in this effort, losing weight as well, going from 260 to 225 pounds. He became even more attentive, but I remained emotionally disengaged. Despite his increased affection, I wasn't interested in intimacy. Looking back, I now realize that was a problem, but at the time I couldn't see it. Everything changed when a new manager started at my office. He was younger, attractive, and for reasons I couldn't fully explain, I was drawn to him. At first, I tried to ignore his interest. When he flirted, I showed him my wedding ring, trying to maintain boundaries. But over time, our conversations grew more personal, and I found myself thinking about him constantly. What began as an emotional affair didn't take long to escalate. My husband sensed that something was off, and one night during an argument, he tried to kiss me. I pulled away, not out of disgust toward him, but because of the situation I created. That moment marked the turning point. A week later, I arranged to meet the new manager at a cafe, intending to end whatever was happening between us. But before I could say anything, he kissed me, and I didn't resist. That kiss led to a 6-month affair. During those months, I became someone I didn't recognize. I gave my affair partner the passion and intimacy that my husband had longed for. I was eager, willing, and always in the mood, because it was new and different. Meanwhile, I treated my husband terribly, pushing him away, criticizing his habits, and belittling him. My shame grew, but I didn't stop. It wasn't until my brother visited and revealed that my husband was depressed and considering separation that I woke up. The realization that I was on the brink of losing everything shook me to my core. I ended the affair immediately, quit my job, and resolved to fix my marriage. I thought I could undo the damage, but it was too late. My affair partner showed up at my house with a box of my belongings from the office. He wanted to talk, and I agreed, intending to send him away for good. But instead, he persuaded me to have one final encounter. We ended up in the guest room, and in the middle of it, everything collapsed. My husband walked in. The moment he saw us, his face contorted with pain and rage. A violent confrontation erupted. My husband attacked my affair partner, and the room was filled with chaos, yelling, crying, and the sound of fists landing. I tried to step in, but my husband's pain was overwhelming, something I had never witnessed before. The police arrived, and that was the day that marked the beginning of the end. At the hospital, the fallout was devastating. My father couldn't even look at me, his eyes filled with shame. My brother yelled at me, crushed by what I had done. My children refused to speak to me. My ex-husband's family was furious. His sisters threatened me, and his mother spat in my face when I tried to apologize. My sons isolated themselves, and my daughters rebelled. My affair partner was severely injured, needing reconstructive surgery after my husband shattered his facial bones. The trial was a nightmare. I had to recount every detail of the affair in front of my husband and family. My husband's testimony revealed that he had planned a surprise romantic weekend for us, only to walk in on me with another man. His pain, captured in a recording of his 911 call, was unbearable to hear. I had destroyed him. In the aftermath, my life unraveled. I lost my job, my family, and my dignity. I faced public shame and legal battles. My children distanced themselves, refusing to speak to me. My brother cut me off, and even lifelong friends turned their backs on me. I sank into a deep depression, overwhelmed by guilt. Therapy forced me to confront the harsh truth. I had taken my husband for granted, reducing our marriage to something transactional. My selfishness had cost me everything. Years passed in silence. My children visited their father regularly but barely acknowledged me. My brother's anger never faded, and my father refused to speak to me. My ex-husband suffered in prison, and when he was attacked by another inmate, my brother's words haunted me. "You did this." Now, nearly a decade later, I live with the consequences of that one selfish choice. My children have grown, but the distance between us remains. My ex-husband's pain is a constant reminder of what I did. Every day, I carry the weight of my betrayal, knowing I destroyed the people I loved most. When my kids came back home, I felt a strange sense of relief and joy, though it was mixed with confusion. My son's unexpected return filled the house with a renewed energy, and I didn't question why. I simply cherished having them around again. For 4 months, our home was alive with their presence, a stark contrast to the emptiness I had grown used to. In those precious moments, I did everything I could to convey my apologies and express my remorse for the damage I had caused. Despite my efforts, my gestures were often met with silence. It was painful, but I accepted it as part of the process. Slowly, the silence began to break. Conversations started, tentative at first, but then more frequent. Every word, every story they shared became a source of joy and hope. My eldest son opened up about his relationship, revealing that he had been dating someone for over a year. My second son proudly talked about his achievements on the college track team. Even my twin daughters, who had been the most distant, began engaging with me again. These glimpses into their lives filled me with deep gratitude and also intensified my self-loathing. Watching them smile, hearing their laughter, sharing meals, all of it brought back memories of what we once had. I realized how much I had missed those simple yet profound family moments. As August approached, I was especially excited for the twins' senior year, which coincided with their 18th birthday. I enthusiastically planned a birthday celebration, thinking it would be a fresh start for us. But when my daughters asked if we could change the date, I was confused. When I inquired why, one of them bluntly said, "Because Dad is throwing us a party, and I don't want you near him." The words hit me like a punch to the gut. Shocked, I asked when their father had been released. They told me he had gotten out in April for good behavior. Tears welled up as I realized the reason they had been around more. They weren't here for me. They were here because he was back. Their renewed happiness and cheerfulness weren't signs of healing between us, but a reflection of their father's presence in their lives once again. Desperate for answers, I asked where he was staying, and they informed me that he was living with my brother. I called, hoping to talk, but he refused to speak to me. Driven by desperation, I went to my brother's house, clutching the letters I had written over the years. I saw him briefly through a crack in the door and shouted his name, but he asked me to leave. Before I did, I handed him the letters, hoping for some connection. As I walked back to my car, I heard his voice. I turned around to see him walking toward me. Tears streamed down my face as I hugged him, hoping for some sign of forgiveness. But instead, he handed the letters back to me and coldly said, "You forgot this." His words were like daggers. I stood there crying as he walked away, begging him to talk to me, but he didn't. My children watched from the door, their expressions void of any love. In that moment, I realized the truth. They were merely tolerating me. Yet, despite everything, I still cling to the hope of fixing things. I want to tell them how selfish I was, how much I missed them, and how deeply sorry I am for destroying our family. I long for forgiveness, for them to see me as they once did. More than anything, I want our children to see us together, to have our family whole again. But deep down I know I don't deserve it. Even if by some miracle we reconcile, it will never be the same. My selfish actions have left scars that time may never heal. My children's perspective on the situation has added another layer of pain and complexity. They've worked hard to keep the past hidden, especially at college. Most of their friends have no idea that their father spent time in prison, and they prefer to keep it that way. When they overheard people on campus discussing our family story, it triggered a flood of painful memories. The realization that it was about us made them furious, and they felt betrayed. This led to a heated confrontation when they visited their father and told him about my post, which caused further tension. Despite everything, their father remains a good man. He scolded them for disrespecting me, reminding them that regardless of their feelings, I should still be treated with respect. It's difficult for them, though, to respect someone who has caused so much pain. Their father's journey hasn't been easy. He often shares stories about his tough upbringing in the South Bronx, where pursuing academic success made him a target. At just 15, he lost his father to cancer and had to step up to support his family. Despite the hardships, he never lost a sense of humor or kindness. Growing up, my children saw what seemed like an ideal marriage. Their father set a powerful example of what it meant to be a husband and father. He treated me as an equal, a best friend, and a confidant. They admired the way he showered me with love, writing notes, buying flowers, serenading me. But everything changed when my affair came to light. Watching our relationship deteriorate was like witnessing a slow-moving tragedy. Their father tried everything to salvage our marriage, but I was distant and unresponsive. My betrayal shattered our family, and the aftermath was devastating. My husband's arrest was the final blow. The trial was one of the most painful experiences for my children. Hearing their father's desperate 911 call, where he cried and expressed his anguish, was excruciating for them. My attempt to act as a character witness only made things worse. My actions during the trial, particularly revealing the length of the affair, contributed to the harsh outcome. The damage continued to ripple through their lives. My son turned to drinking. One of my daughters struggled with suicidal thoughts. And the eldest had to step up as a surrogate parent. They resented me deeply, and in many ways they still do. They struggle to forgive me even now. They believe my efforts to seek forgiveness were more about making myself feel better than about truly helping them heal. The road to forgiveness isn't about making myself feel better. It's about acknowledging the depth of the pain I caused and giving them the time and space to heal on their own terms.